to save our Mother Earth from any alien attack. From vicious giant insects who have once again come
You
back.
and the Swiss cheese!
We'll unleash all our forces. We won't cut them any slack. We will fight
The
EDF boys.
I've had my eyes on EDF for a while now. I mean, just fucking look at it. Now I can't take my eyes off. The publisher recently had a big Steam sale, so I snagged it. Within a minute, I was having a blast, and within an hour, I realized I had something truly special on my hands. This game is an insane spectacle, end-to-end, a constant joy to play. Earth Defense Force 4.1, The Shadow of New Despair, is a port of a remaster of the newest edition of a massive series of AAA games. AAA referring to the one thing they all have in common:
absolute alien annihilation.
This is the only EDF I've played, and I don't feel lost in the slightest. What happened in the other games? I don't know, but I can imagine they had something to do with Earth and a defense force. Since there's still an Earth to defend, I'd say they were successful. The game opens up with a day in the life of the average Australian. Giant insects are blocking the commute to work, so they call in the Air Force and level half the city. However, it turns out that this isn't just an infestation. It's an invasion. Supplemented by honest-to-God aliens with UFOs and lasers and shit. With the Earth's defenses in shambles, it's all up to you to destroy everything before the aliens can. Visually, the first thing we gotta talk about here is the carnage. That's the word of the day here, carnage, remember that. On a technical level, this looks the part for a remaster of a 7th gen game. However, I'm kind of shocked at how stable it all is with this much shit going on. You know, all the lights, particles, ragdolls, debris, and the sheer fucking volume of enemies. It is pure carnage. I can talk about it more, but I'd rather let it speak for itself over the course of the video. It's literally the entire game. There's no way to not see it. Another theme with this game is surprising competence. This game is so fucking stupid, yet there's a bunch of little things that make you realize the devs knew exactly what they were doing. For example, there's a lot of great ideas in the UI design. A lot of projectile weapons have a laser preview of the shot trajectory that's actually just part of the 3D model. This is an amazing idea, I love it. Not all of them are perfect though, there's one in particular that's just lying to you. Here's another good idea. Knowing nothing about this class, can you guess how their weapons reload? Stay tuned to see if you were right. Normally describing a game's soundscape as cacophonous is a bad thing, but EDF wears that adjective with pride. It is an exquisite gem of an audio experience. Let's just take a second to enjoy it. Together.
This is Ranger 2. We are fighting giant insects. Requesting wing diver support. What sharp pinchers! This is Ranger 16. They're picking up people like rag dolls.
Oh my god, that voice acting. The dialogue is terrible. Every line poorly translated and not even slightly localized, and the acting is delivered with the same gumption as a cheap cartoon. It is so terrible that almost every line got a laugh out of me for one reason or another. My favorite has to be,
Wing divers are natural enemies of giant insects.
yes, memory-based sci-fi Air Force and, really big ants. Mortal enemies, I'm sure. They also always intone giant insects as a proper noun because the original script used kyodai seibutsu, which is grammatically more or less a proper noun. This is objectively terrible, but I am convinced that it's actually on purpose. Poorly localized writing and bad voice acting are just how the West enjoys cheesy Japanese monster movies. It's almost like how Hollywood movies have their own English video joker.
Oh, I'm so hungry. Finally, I get to eat. What the fuck?
And of course, EDF also has an extensive voice command menu. The in-game voice chat is terrible because it just uses Steam's voice chat and there's no way to turn it off. So like half the people online have no idea that their mic is on. Ow. Thankfully, the voice commands are extensive enough that you never need to actually speak to another human being.
This is Mark 2. We're being swallowed. Do they plan on swallowing us alive?
And if you're near any friendly EDF troopers, they'll join in with your screaming, chanting, or singing. The only weird caveat is that none of the actors have an assigned voice actor, so every time you use an emote, the game just picks an actor at random.
Shut the fuck up.
EDF's gameplay is broken into a shitload of missions, which can be played in either single or multiplayer with one of 4 classes. These classes are so strange. Like, what do you think of when you hear the word fencer? Some kind of mobile glass cannon damage dealer, right? Wrong. It is literally the opposite of that. Okay? Well, which one of these do you think is the air raider? That's right, it's that guy. That other class was the wing diver. Right, so to recap, the wing diver can fly. The fencer can dual-wield miniguns. The air raider can do this. And the ranger? He has a gun. Not any special gun, just a gun. Actually, he has a lot of guns. There's no caveat here, he's just normal. In fact, being normal is his shtick. Every other class has some kind of drawback or gimmick to their guns, but Ranger's guns are just good. The real drawback is that it's boring. If you enjoy... Fuck, I can't think of anything funny enough. Let me ask around. Alright, if you enjoy missionary sex, plain Cheerios, normal-ass water, or watching these videos, the Ranger might just be the class for you. Nope, wait, he does have one class-exclusive feature. He can roll through objects. I'm serious, the Air Raider can't do this. This is a signature Ranger ability. If you'd rather smash through objects with the sheer force of your thunder thighs, you might try out the Fencer. The Fencer only needs one hand for their weapons, so you've got double the slots. There's no restrictions on what you can equip either. Wanna mow the lawn with akimbo miniguns? Sure. Wanna roleplay as an artillery piece? Go for it. What about melee? We've got that covered too. What if you want to dual-wield shields? Give it a try, see what happens. Some weapons even work better in pairs. Take the javelin launcher for instance. Here's what shooting one looks like.
So, destroy it.
Now here's both of them. Each fencer weapon can also have a mobility alt-fire, which you can mix and match to do shit like this.
Wait, no, I wrote that joke thinking that thinking of this clip was him speeding in here and parrying one of these, but that didn't actually happen. He didn't parry anything. He just sped it and did nothing. Fuck it, I'm leaving that clip in.
These are on shift and space for some reason. If you're wondering where the jump button went, it's on middle mouse. Why? In exchange for the ability to redefine the term small arms, the Fencer has dogshit mobility. He actually takes time to build momentum when changing directions, and some weapons even add mouse smoothing. I got it right the first time. Why did I fucking stop myself like I fucked it up? God damn it. And some weapons even add mouse smoothing. This does a good job of making him feel like a lumbering avatar of extermination, but if you'd rather be able to, you know, move, the Wing Diver might be more your speed. The Wing Diver is... Christ, can you guess where this game was made? The Wing Diver is all about mobility. She has a jetpack and her loadout consists of close range or burst fire weapons to facilitate a hit and run kind of playstyle. This playstyle is enforced by the way her guns are reloaded. You probably guessed from the UI, but her guns charge directly from the jetpack. Her specialized combat role makes her a blast to play. While other classes struggle with certain tasks, the Wing Diver can just zoom in and take care of business. But if you're like me, and all of this sounds just a little bit too practical for you, let me introduce the Air Raider.
Okay.
It's so big.
Rain death from above. Become a bigger hazard to your team than the aliens.
What are you doing? No! What the fuck?
Helplessly roll around since you didn't bring a gun and all your shit's on cooldown. Tell your team where the aliens are. I think they're over there. Or make a support build and lose track of whatever the fuck is going on. If any of these things sound appealing to you, welcome to the team. If you can't tell, the Air Raider is my favorite class by far. His signature feature is the ability to call in airstrikes. These include, but are not limited to, howitzers, 150mm shells, a guided missile swarm, a massive cruise missile, or a fucking orbital laser. These recharge from a point system based on alien deaths, so you should probably bring a backup while you're waiting for that recharge. The Air Raider gets a massive arsenal of support tools. Multiple types of turrets and landmines, support beacons to buff allies in an area, including one that recharges the Wing Diver's jetpack, a laser guidance system for your team's lock-on weapons, and an anti-air solution that has quickly become my favorite gun in the game.
Welcome to the Cum Zone.
It doesn't do much damage, but that's not the point. The point is to establish dominance. The only problem with Air Raider is Oh, yeah, I forgot he has actual guns. The Air Raider has an array of limpet guns, which all share the same gimmick of shooting sticky bombs that need to be manually detonated. These guns are designed to be somewhat weak and cumbersome since they're supposed to be backup weapons. The problem is, all that fun shit, the airstrikes and support tools, are all competing for a measly 2 weapon slots. Since your real guns suck, you're just tempted to not bring them. This will inevitably lead to having to restart a mission because there is 1 bug left, and you can't kill it because all of your shit is on cooldown. EDF 5 addresses this somewhat by giving him a 3rd weapon slot, but that game's expensive, man. On top of his weapon slots, Air Raider has a 3rd special slot for vehicles. They work on the same point system as artillery, except the more expensive ones don't start with a full charge. There's a very good selection here too, which lets you serve a variety of combat roles. Almost all of them control and play really well too. Like the tanks move with their treads, so they're not as fast as the APC, but they're better over rugged terrain. They even have suspension and recoil. Pretty cool. The only exception are the bike and the depth crawler. The bike controls horribly. Seriously, the sidecar messes with it so much it is impossible to actually drive in a straight line. The depth crawler has the unique ability to walk on any surface. The issue is that your controls stay relative to the body, so it's basically like randomly inverting your controls every few seconds. I love the Air Raider because his vast array of support tools gives you so much to play with. I am still discovering new combos and ways to play. Like most recently, I figured out you can stick rocket turrets and anti-air mines onto the blades of your helicopter, which actually just makes the rocket turrets more accurate. The way you unlock all these new toys is so odd. It doesn't communicate itself clearly either, so I initially hated it, but now I'm just kind of confused. Enemies you kill have a chance of dropping armor or weapon pickups. Each armor pickup adds 1 point to your max health permanently, across all missions, single or multiplayer. Each weapon pickup adds to the number of weapons you unlock at the end of a mission, which come from this bizarre-ass drop table based on mission number and difficulty. I had a bitch of a time on my first few missions, since I assumed these difficulties were balanced like, difficulty options. So I tried the first mission on very hard. That was a mistake. The difficulties are more like New Game Plus scalings than actual difficulties, so the final mission on easy will drop from the same pool as the first mission on hard. Missions in multiplayer are also scaled like this, so they have an armor limit and a max weapon level. I think the purpose of this is to keep the game fresh over multiple playthroughs worth of multiplayer missions, and I'd say it's successful. I have 3 main issues though. 1, nothing stops you from getting weapon dupes. 2, you only unlock upgrades for the class you're playing. And 3, you have to physically pick up the boxes. This is perfectly fine in most cases, but these are huge maps. Since they're designed to fit shit like the Pacific Rim bar fight, the stuff I killed could be miles off, and now I have to walk slowly to where they died in order to reach my shit. And when the mission's over, it just ends. Didn't get everything? Too bad! Enjoy your 9 armor, fucko. I think EDF 5 fixes some of this, but like I said, we're not playing that one today. While you can play EDF perfectly fine alone, it's really designed as a multiplayer game. The classes are all built with their own strengths that cover for each other's weaknesses. If you go it alone, you're gonna see constant reminders of all the fun you're missing out on. Easier difficulties are perfect for that co-op shooter fun, but the harder difficulties still provide a good challenge. You actually have to strategize what equipment you bring and experiment to learn new synergies. When your squad's on their game, there's nothing like it. Story-wise, this isn't a hard sci-fi plot driven by strong characters or a deep, engaging narrative. This is pure spectacle, and it fucking delivers. The story is communicated to you both through mid-mission radio chatter and the gameplay itself. It is surprisingly competent considering how fucking stupid everything is. Like, the game opens up with just ants. Since they can't fly, airborne units like the wing divers work pretty well. This is explained via my favorite line in the game.
Wing divers are natural enemies of giant insects. Once they get here, the giant insects are finished.
Then you fight alongside some wing divers, and the bugs pull out a new trick. Giant webs to ensnare the wing divers. In just a few levels, we've established multiple gameplay mechanics, given the player time to implicitly understand them, and shown that the stakes have been raised, as the insects are now more advanced than ever before. This is explained via my second favorite line in the game.
Does this mean that the progress of the giant insects exceeds human wisdom? Progress faster than science is impossible, but...
A later mission introduces force field generators. Up to this point, you could feasibly just sit back at a distance and rain death on your enemies. Now you have to actually move inside the shield bubble to take out the generator. This represents the biggest gameplay shakeup so far, so they make sure you understand what's going on by having multiple characters explain how the shields work, then having multiple characters explain how to beat them. Is that stupid and handholdy? Extremely, but we don't have time for a more subtle tutorial, seeing as I am literally drowning in bugs. You'd really expect there to be an upper limit on just how much the stakes can be raised, but no, the ante just keeps getting fucking upped. There's a bunch of epic, climactic missions in the 40s, like destroying the mothership or a multi-stage costly mission to destroy the giant ant queen. And at that point you're like, yeah, okay, the game's gotta be winding down now, right? Wrong. That is the halfway point. In just a few minutes, you'll be fighting waves of queen ants. There are so many great reveals and stupid moments. It does an excellent job holding the experience together. Without this kind of quality in the narrative design and mission structure, the game could easily lose steam after a few missions, but it doesn't. Now, I've talked enough about this game that can easily speak for itself, so that was EDF 4.1. I don't know why I keep writing those jokes that imply the video is longer than it is. This video is going to be like 15 minutes long. Average attention span is like 8-9 minutes. That's not really that long. But anyway, that was EDF 4.1. If you're familiar with this game, you may have noticed that I haven't actually beaten it yet. That's because I wasn't able to bully my friends into playing with me. Yeah, that's right, I'm on to you. I know you guys watch these. How do you see all the fun you missed out on? Anyway, this game has dethroned Borderlands as the ultimate fun with friends co-op shooter. You know, with a strong enough friendship, you can make any activity fun. But some games are just better for channeling that kind of friend energy. If that sounds like a low bar to you, I've played a lot of Borderlands. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, help it out on the algorithm. You know, leave a like, leave a comment, even if it's something stupid like a smiley face, or spread it around. If you really want to see these videos keep going, I do have a Patreon and now a YouTube member thingy. Okay, I've cut more of this shit out because these afterthought things artificially add way too much shit to the runtime. So if you feel like hearing me talk about the production of these, you can join in on these bi-weekly editing streams that I've been doing. I haven't been announcing them because I assumed nobody would show up, but every single editing stream I've done had a greater than 1 average viewers, and they turned out to be surprisingly fun to just kind of hang out while I'm working. So yeah, if you see one of those pop up, feel free to hop in. I won't be advertising them for a while because it would break my heart if I was like, oh, come hang on stream, guys, you know, and somebody just commented no. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.